We've thought about and talked through, and I'm willing to accept it to try to do the right thing for Bothell.
So now you've been knocking on doors.
Yes.
How many doors have you knocked on so far?
Coming up on 5,000
5,000
in that
doors.
neighborhood. Yeah.
Wow.
I could get you an exact number.
I'm going to scoot back a little
Yeah.
here so I can get Jim in here too.
And when I first started, I kind of thought that the point of that was me going to the city and saying, "This is me, look how amazing I am." And really it's just turned into the city teaching me how to do the job. Because when you go and knock on doors in every neighborhood in Bothell, you get an idea for where people are and what they care about. And there are issues that are, local issues in Bothell that certain neighborhoods have, and there are issues that affect all of Bothell, and they all matter. And so that's been really valuable, just to meet people where they're at, for them to explain what they think about the good and the bad of living here. And I wouldn't trade that experience for the world.
And so what stands out to you to be some of the most important issues that you've run into in Bothell?
The big issue that I hear about everywhere in Bothell is the fact that we're growing really quickly, and there are growing pains that come with that. And people will express that in different ways. People will say, we don't have enough infrastructure for the growth, or people will just say, anybody that lives in Canyon Park that has to get onto 405 in the morning will talk about how much longer it takes now than it used to. We have people living in Bothell that it takes them longer to get on the freeway that they live a mile from than it does to get to Bellevue and work. So we have a long way to go trying to figure out how we can have a growth model that scales and that works in terms of transportation and traffic and housing affordability. Is another thing that I hear about a ton. So I would say overall that's the issue I've heard about by far the most.
Okay. Do you have any ideas on how we could tackle those issues?
I don't want to take credit for these, because these aren't ideas that I have dreamed up out of my head because I'm so smart. Just about every planning organization in the country right now is talking about the same type of thing. And around here we've got the Puget Sound Regional Council, and they are going around to city councils and county councils and essentially giving a presentation that talks about what they call transit-oriented development. When we put future growth close to mass transit, which we're getting in Bothell in 2024, bus rapid transit is a very different experience than the metro buses that we're all used to. But when we put people around mass transit, they'll take it because it becomes convenient. Because at the end of the day, we all take the transportation method that is the most convenient over anything else. And if I could walk to a bus stop and get to work faster than driving my car, I would do that. Similarly, if we build more complete neighborhoods, and what I mean by that, some people call this 15-minute neighborhoods. It's a neighborhood where you can meet your daily needs on foot. You can walk to the grocery store, you can walk to the bank, you can walk to the doctor's office. If people don't need to get in their cars to run their errands, and if people don't need to get in their cars to go to work, we can grow and scale without making traffic a lot worse for those of us that live in the neighborhoods in Bothell that aren't walkable and that don't have accessible transit. So that's the thing that I've been talking about the most this year, quite simply because that's the thing that the people that study this the most, the country over, are all saying in unison right now.
Huh. Okay. And is that a long-term goal, do you think, for us, or do you see something happening in the short term that will ease some of this?
Well,
how long do you think this is going to take us to see, say, like in the Canyon Park area, which is one of the biggest?
The unfortunate part is that we have built out our entire city in a way that doesn't scale well for growth. We have neighborhoods that have small neighborhood roads that move into collectors, that move into one arterial that takes you from where everybody lives to where everybody has to go, either to work or to shop. So as we continue to grow that way, we sprawl farther out and we have more neighborhood roads that fill into collectors that go into that same arterial. So when we sprawl out, all we're doing is adding more cars to the roads that we have to drive to get where we need to go. If instead of sprawling out, we concentrate that growth where the things already are, like, people will walk if it's more convenient. Like, I'd rather not get in a car. If I could walk across the street to the grocery store, that'd be great. And really the goal isn't to take anything away from people. The goal is to give people other options. And we know if we do that, people will take those other options. To answer your question though, about short-term versus long-term, because we've built out our entire city in this way, there's no quick fix. There's no easy answer. Like, as one of 7 votes on city council, I'm not gonna fix this in 4 years. But we need people who are looking toward the long term, and on city council, it's your job to do the best long term for the city, not to get yourself reelected in 4 years. And we need people that are looking at the long term and trying to build for the long term rather than trying to make things just a little bit better tomorrow. The good news is change is coming relatively quickly. Bus rapid transit comes online in 2024. And when I say this is different from our normal metro buses, I should explain. The buses operate in the express toll lanes, so we can control demand and we can essentially keep them rapid. They don't have to deal in general lanes. There are direct access ramps to get on and off the freeway, so they don't have to wait to get on and off the freeway. When you go there, you pay, and then the doors open and everybody walks on. You don't have to wait in line with people fishing cash out or their Orca card to pay for it. Just the doors open, you go in, and it goes. It's a much different experience. It's like light rail experience on wheels. So, and this is coming in 2024, and that, obviously is a few years away, but it's going to happen fast. So if we start thinking now about how to plan and allow future growth, really we're thinking 4 or 5 years out the soonest anyway. So if we can put people close to where that transit is coming really soon, we stand a chance to grow without seeing more of the growing pains that we've been seeing.
I think I got it. You got any questions? Any more questions? Mason, thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today. Is there anything else you want to tell people, the citizens of Bothell?
Vote, because it matters, because most people don't. And when you don't vote, you lose your voice in terms of how to make this city stronger over the long term. I obviously would love your vote. I hope that I've done enough to earn it. And should you elect me to city council, I will work hard to make Bothell a better place to live over the long term. If anybody has any questions, my contact info is all on my website at electmason.com. You can call me, you can email me. I'd be happy to chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mason.